Hey guys, welcome back to the episode. This is a continuation of our last episode, so if you haven't already, go back and check that one out, because otherwise this won't make any sense. Actually, probably won't make sense anyway. Enjoy!
So John.
Yeah.
John, you have a topic.
I do.
Very Christmassy for the season.
I was kind of asked this question the other day at work, and I was like, this would be kind of a fun thing to talk about.
I feel like this is your process.
What?
You'll get something at work and then you'll...
Yeah, I kind of... Why are you talking about the cookies and everything else? Look,
there was another...
When you're stocking shelves, you get... I don't know. People just ask me questions, and I'm like, these are good questions to ask people and to discuss, and I don't know, something new. I didn't Google it. I could just Google podcast topics, whatever. But anyway... Somebody asked me what the best gift I received for Christmas was, and I got to thinking about that, and I was thinking about worst Christmases and best Christmases, and then, with people celebrating Hannukah, we'll transition into holidays. So, I want to know what your guys' best holiday was, what your worst holiday was, best gifts, worst gifts you've ever received. Who wants to kick it off? We'll start with best. Do you want to start with best, or do you want to start with worst?
I'll start.
Are you starting with best or worst?
I was trying to find a coin.
Okay.
I'll start.
There's one right here.
Let's start with best. Let's say worst.
Go for it.
Because I feel like worst will be better stories.
Yeah, mine's mine's a long one for the worst.
So with Hannukah, it's 8 presents, and the first 7 are generally Tinker Toys, small stuff. For those who don't know, it's a present a night.
What's an example of a day 2 present?
Jacks. Or marbles, something small.
Okay.
AKA caltrops.
What?
Sure.
Those are ninja weapons that you drop on the floor, and if you step on them, it can injure you.
But generally...
Or ornaments in Home Alone.
Or just Legos.
Yeah. But generally on the 8th day, the final night of Hannukah, you usually get a lavish present.
Are most of these aisle checkout items?
Gas station items, stuff like that. Yeah.
Like a back scratcher?
Like the dollar stores.
Do they have front scratchers?
For the first 7 days.
Yeah.
I want a front scratcher.
Yeah. They usually cost more money, and their names are Frida or Betty, but...
Oh.
Yeah, you like what I did there? You're so slow on the delivery.
Yeah, but nobody will know because they'll just edit it.
I think that pause needs to be there. Emphasis on how bad the joke was.
Agreed.
I want to give him his dues, man.
Right?
This is actually
or his don'ts.
My giving my present to him.
Present to him this year. Speaking of, when can I open those? Are we waiting for Jeremy?
We're gonna be waiting all night.
Yeah. I think that the best gift for holiday I ever got was last year. My mom got me, because it was kind of understood that last year was going to be the last year that I got kind of lavish gifts. It's always been that way in the family. Once you have kids, you get one last hurrah of a gift from the parents, and then you be happy if you get a pair of socks from my parents for the rest of your life. But so last year, for my last hurrah of a gift, my mom got me. Now, they're not the original specs, obviously, but they're the pack, the trap, and the PK meter architectural schematics of how to build them. Sheets, full sheets of how to build them schematics.
The blueprints?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
And they're so cool. They're broken down piece by piece how to build,
nice.
How to physically build them, not just replicas.
Could you do it and actually build it? Yeah. That's
but
cool.
if you could find
yeah, right.
But yeah, so that was probably one of the coolest gifts I've ever got.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you frame that? Or?
Yeah. Okay. They're hanging in my hallway.
Nice. What about, was that the 8th day of Hanukkah you got that, or just a random
since
Christmas
I got married, we've been doing Christmas with my wife. Yeah.
Gotcha.
By force?
Yeah, I was about to say, did she make you do Christmas?
We have 13 Christmas trees.
Jeez.
Yeah.
One for each day of the
full size?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Inside? That's a hazard.
They're not real.
You're gonna lose a baby.
Or a cat.
In the forest. We have one. We don't have any cats.
Well, you probably do now.
Shake one of those out and a cat falls out.
I'm pretty sure
every
time I open the door, there's 4 new birds that fly in.
Oh, jeez.
What the fucking fuck?
Are they flying shit houses?
Yeah, flying shit houses. I would love pigeons. I love pigeons. But yeah, I'd
Go,
probably
buddy,
say,
go play with those pigeons.
as I can remember, that's probably
That's an awesome gift.
One of my
That's
favorites.
for sure an awesome gift. What about you, Justin? What's the best gift you've ever received besides our presents?
I think it's kind of like best gifts are kind of subjective,
Right? Yeah.
It kind of depends on
It's whatever what you thought was
Yeah.
the best gift. It could have been something that made you happy. It could have been something that you needed.
The thing is like there's a lot of people who say like gift cards aren't like a good, and this isn't mine, but they say gift cards isn't a good.
It's not very personal.
Yeah, the thing I don't like about most of those, like if you have like one of those anywhere like Visa type of things, it's like, cool, sure. You could have just gave me the money and saved on the tax and stuff that you
Right.
spent on that. And but they also say like money isn't a good gift. Bull fucking shit.
Bullshit. Money is
Yeah. It's like
I
you
love
want to
gift
buy
cards too. I don't give a shit.
unless
I'm
you're
hard to
making
buy
something personal and going in and like coming from the heart, creating
Right.
something, writing something, building something.
I'll get into that on my worst list too because I got some things to say about that. But
Oh, but so if it's not a holiday sessy time, that's usually a good gift. But I think probably this laptop.
nice.
It might have to be like the my most extremely meaningful or highly useful gift because I pretty much use this laptop for everything, organizing. It manages the podcast. I do the edits. Stays connected with people. I mean, like it's a useful tool. And
Who gave that to you?
The missus,
The missus?
the missus,
Your Croatian wife?
Mimoli.
she's not Croatian.
That's
she's
your joke.
She's Cuban.
See, we'll go with it.
Not quite.
I can't get him to say the right nationality.
Fine. Since it's Christmas,
Ethnicity.
she's just a boring ass white girl.
Not really even close.
I just like the face you made. Like, wait, what?
Boring ass, basic white girl.
The white girl.
Who got you a computer?
Yeah, I got her.
What brand is that? What is that?
I pulled the switch on her, and she got me the
Is
laptop.
that? Oh, is that how you got the laptop?
I was like, here you go. Keep yourself busy.
What brand is that? You said? Did you?
This brand
pimp
here
it out a little bit?
is an HP Envy 360.
I have had terrible luck with HPs. I'm glad yours is working for you.
It's
though,
not
but
the
I've
best
had
thing out there,
terrible luck.
but it gets the job done.
This Acer I have right here has been the longest laptop
Really?
I've had.
Yeah,
I've had issues
I've
with
had
Acers.
good luck with Acers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you have an Acer right there.
Yep. Yeah. This is a convertible too. I could flip it and be a tablet.
Same here, and this is touchscreen. I like that.
Yeah. I always forget it's
mine
touch
can
screen.
turn
I'll
it-
get something on it and I'll be like, oh shit.
Mine can turn into a tablet once.
Once.
That's all you need.
Right.
But yeah, no, that might be my best present.
Nice. Yeah. So mine is I've gotten good gifts lately. My mom gets me stuff I need. Like one year I got tires for my car, or this year I
Nice.
got pots and pans, like necessity things. Like I feel like that's a good time to get gifts that you don't want to buy that stuff for yourself. It's like fuck, you need it, but you don't want to buy it for yourself. That's what my mom's turned into around Christmas time or my birthday. But this one goes back to, I want to say 4th or 5th grade. And we lived in this apartment complex, and my brother, we lived on the bottom floor, and we locked our bikes with a bike lock attached to, my dad we had a brick wall, and he had managed to put a rod in there with like a hook that we can tie the bikes around and it wouldn't
Secure it.
Yeah, secure it. And so my brother one day didn't lock them, and they got stolen. And so,
Motherfucker.
as punishment, she's like, you guys aren't ever getting fucking bikes again because you can't take care of it and blah, blah, blah. And to be fair, we weren't taking care of our bikes. Like that was probably, if he didn't leave it unlocked, I probably left it unlocked.
Never took it in for your 6-month checkups or anything?
No, terrible. Shitty 4th graders not taking care of their bikes. We would jump the creek with them and not make it. And so they'd be in the creek
As
for
in,
a
like,
couple days until
Holding
we got it
them
out.
or riding them?
Riding them.
Okay.
Trying to. Well, like I said, we'd end up in the creek because we'd hit the ground about, we're those fail videos all the
Right,
time.
right.
But back
Those are the
then,
fun
kids
stuff.
weren't pussies. They actually went outside and touched grass. But so, yeah, one year we had a bunch of presents and we're opening them all and we get through all of them. And my dad's like, I think there's something else in the kitchen. And we're like, what are you talking about? And so we get up and we run all the way to the kitchen, and of course there were two new bikes there. And so
I thought you were going to say your mom's laying dead or something.
That'll show you not to get your bike.
What happens?
No, and
Look
it
what you
just I had that bike for a long time, and I used to ride my bike literally. I used to love bike riding. So like to be so devastated that somebody stole it and then, be told you're never going to get a bike again or whatever. And then to, and they made it the last present, like, that was it. That's all you're getting. And in the kitchen, there's 2 bikes, like I said, I really enjoyed bikes. So that's probably my best present. I will talk about the worst presents here in a bit, but I get generally good presents because I send people my Amazon wish list. So it's like I picked this.
I always forget about that too.
Yeah.
It's like I have this offered to me. I mean,
Yeah.
I always
You could literally share that link.
And shit. Yeah. Pick something and do something with it. 2 things on
You
your
even have
point.
it delivered right to you.
Right. So riding bikes, I think all of us kind of had that.
absolutely.
Age. It's like you would go out, ride bikes after you got off school and come home before it gets dark or the street lamps
Depends
come
on
on
how
type of
strict
thing.
your mom, or you get grounded because you came home an hour after you were supposed to.
Whatever.
Like, Mom, I was in the apartment complex. I was technically home.
I came in. I said hi to you.
I would get in trouble the more I would come home injured. Like if I would come home with road rash or broken bones, that's when I would get in trouble. Like as long as I came home, my parents were fine.
I feel like your parents would expect you to.
I would after a while, yeah.
They're like, yeah, well, get in the insurance and.
Well, us driving the bike in the creek was in the wintertime, so we had to try to sneak my brother in when he was like soaking wet. And obviously apartments aren't the biggest places, but we had like the couch, like you'd walk in the door and the couch would be right there. And so like we'd try to crawl behind the couch, like he's
Seen
not
this
the
show
quietest person. He smells like a wet sewer creek, it's
So I feel bad
terrible.
for myself. Like my daughters, I got a 4-year-old and a 7-year-old, and both of them kind of have. Well, the oldest one has more of a bike. The other one has like a tricycle or some other sort of bike that we kind of borrow here and there. But it's like they always want to go outside and ride bikes and stuff. And it's like I would love for you to go, but like they're kind of still at that age where, and in the society today, where you kind of have to be present.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I just did a 10-hour day and it's already dark, so it's like.
It's definitely different than when we were kids. Like I remember being in 2nd and 3rd grade and walking to school. Like I'd never see kids walking to school that young anymore. Like it's unfortunate. Like they could literally be snapped up at any time, and it's a scary world for these kids now. We should arm them.
And I think the media, I'd agree. We can mount some sort of weapon on their bikes.
Why do you look terrified?
Like I was considering homeschooling my child anyway. Now I'm definitely going to do it.
What's the worst that could happen?
Right.
You arm a child? Let's see. How many sitcoms in the 90s do I have to go through?
But yeah, onto your other point, when it comes to like the gifts or like the best gifts or so, it's like we've also as adults come to this age where we've kind of like flip-flopped on certain things. Back then, like this whole Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle bust or all 4 of them, that would be awesome. But it's like, yeah, new tires. Hell yeah.
Yeah, right? You get excited for cookware and tires.
We take more enjoyment going down the cleaning aisle or, something like that, like rather than the toy aisle.
If I would have got socks and underwear up to the age of 16, I would have fucking
What
flipped.
the fuck is
now
this?
I get socks and underwear for anything, and I'm like, it's the best fucking day.
New socks are so great.
And they feel good that first time.
I just bought some Home Alone socks.
I spent some money on some waterproof socks. Once I washed them, they were no longer waterproof.
Is that a joke or is that serious? Like,
No, that's serious.
what
it
are
was supposed-
waterproof socks?
It's for my job. I mean, I was going through like a vendor, my job offers, and it's like, okay, well, I mean, yeah, I didn't feel
Not to interrupt, but do you get wet feet a lot walking around? Like when it rains and snows and all that shit?
Right.
Yeah, that would suck ass.
It's like I
hate wet socks. So.
Same here. And
That's
the
why I just don't wear them
worst,
most of the time.
The worst thing is like if you don't dry your shoes the night before or whatever, and like you slip
it
your
back
feet
in.
into it's like, this is
Son
what
of
this
a
day is.
nutcracker!
Starting off good.
Peanut brittle.
Yeah.
What are these? I'm more interested in these socks. That's how cool. Like,
They were
like
supposed
you
to be
said,
like-
socks. Yeah, new socks.
Like seal socks or something like that.
What kind
seal
of
skin or
fabric
something
are they
like
made
that.
of? Like
Definitely not
like a
sealskin.
scuba suit kind of material.
imagine.
What is-
I'm gonna go out on a limb
Wetsuit?
just because I know your personality. But
I'm
they're the
Amazoning
socks
these
that
right
have
now.
like individual toes, right?
Tubby socks. Yeah, I got some of those. But no, these ones aren't those.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm going on Amazon right now and ordering waterproof socks. I want to see what these look like. I'm genuinely curious.
These ones were offered through work, not my
And then
ninja
you said
job.
that, and I was like, man, I
Not
bet
your
his-
ninja,
yeah.
not the ninja job, but the government job.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, I bet his feet get wet all the time. That would. Oh my
Well, I
God,
mean,
hate
like,
it.
also because there's no breathing room, it's like your feet are going to be
and
wet
you're
anyways. It's going to be
sweating like
Yeah.
yeah, that's terrible.
so.
How many
When it comes to,
dogs
like,
do you
certain-
encounter,
Dogs,
yeah,
all of them.
All of them.
And it's
Do you
usually
have,
the small ones I
snacks
got to
on
worry
you?
about. Usually. I usually carry a bag of nuts on me for the squirrels, but so I got a
Do you
squirrel
really?
posse. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
You have a squirrel. So you would have a squirrel.
Fuck, my nut sack broke.
Oh God. Waterproof socks for me. I'm sorry, I'm holding up the podcast, looking up these. Oh, okay.
The listeners might be interested in buying a pair for themselves.
Zazzle.com. Get your Boundless PodTrap waterproof socks.
Don't wash them.
Don't wash them.
Yeah.
be
So
your
what
lucky
happened when you
socks.
Surprisingly,
washed them?
not
I don't
water
know.
resistant.
Did it just shred the shit out of them?
No. I mean, like once I wore them the next time, my feet were soaked. They just like kind of soaked right
Do you
through.
waterproof them apparently by submerging them?
I'm
I don't
assuming
know. Is it like your phone's technically waterproof, but if you leave it in there for 6 hours, it's obviously gonna ruin it? But
maybe I got to put my socks in a bag of rice and
and an Asian guy will come fix it. Anyway, that went off the rails.
socks.
I blame Lonnie. He brought up socks.
Hey,
I think we do need some BBT socks.
I would.
Shit,
wear 'em.
yeah.
Be cool. What about? I'm gonna go last on the worst because it's gonna transition into.
Onto the BPT socks. I want to make something that says "Don't cut here" on the Achilles because I don't like that.
What? I'm just asking for someone to.
No, you're saying don't do it though.
Yeah, but
Yeah, no, you say don't
All right,
do it and they won't do it.
I forgot. We're gonna go do best holiday. So, what was your best holiday? Because I want to do worst because my worst gift transitions into my worst holiday. So that's how I want it. So
Do you want me to get tissues?
yes, maybe for something else though. Lonnie, go ahead. What was your best holiday? Like, what year was like the best? You just had a great time all around.
see, Halloween's always my favorite holidays.
Yeah.
Same.
So, and I always try, and this was pre-Mox, but I always try to go to as many haunted houses as possible. And I'm going to draw a blank on the year. I can't tell you what year, but I think 1 October, I think we were able to hit like close to 15 haunted houses in the season, and all over the Midwest, Kansas, Missouri, Nebraska, Iowa, some in Illinois. It was just fun, just being able to experience so many different things, so many small towns. So yeah, just I feel more myself in October. Like you can just let your hair down and it's just a magical time.
That'd be cool. What about you, Justin?
It's hard, again, to pinpoint what is the best Christmas. I have two that kind of come to mind, maybe 3 to 5, because some of these sort of bleed together. So when I was a kid, all of my cousins would come over. You know, we used to have like a huge house. Our house was kind of like the gathering house. So and this is also around the time when my grandpappy was still alive, and he kind of
Did you want specific Christmas or just any holiday?
I was leaning towards Christmas.
Oh, fuck, I
specific,
fucked
but-
that
we're
up
talking
then.
about.
No, you're fine.
Do you want me to pass it back?
You're
after
not.
I'm
You're
done?
not. I mean,
You don't
you
have
like
good Christmases.
Halloween more, so I accepted that as
Absolutely.
And you
Yeah,
celebrate Hanukkah, so there's no
Yeah,
best.
like
you
what the
know,
fuck is the? Well, that's why I said holiday season because.
Well,
that
hey,
too.
then, go back to you.
Well, I'm saying like Hanukkah, Christmas, New Year's
Yeah.
is what I was kind
Whatever,
of
go.
leaning towards.
Well, you're saying that now just to cover
So, like,
yourself
I mean,
on
do you not
yeah.
have one that?
No, I already said my answer.
You don't have happiness?
All
Is,
No.
Okay.
I hate this time of the year.
You and me both.
That's why I accepted your answer as Halloween. That's
Thank
why,
you.
yeah.
I just wanted to derail the podcast. Go.
Thank you. So
Or
back,
Justin's train of thought.
back then, like my
Like, that's
grandpappy,
hard.
my grandpappy used to like hold the family together. You know, my aunts and uncles and all these people used to come over and hanging out with my cousins and just going around and like, you know, climbing out on the roof on the house, and parents are trying to figure out where we're at, and we're like up the street, down the street, you know, backyard, etc. Like, I don't know, it was just kind of a fun where it was very let loose. You didn't care about anything. Like it was just go, no responsibilities. I don't know. I actually felt that family element way back in the day. And then after my grandpappy died and everybody kind of went their own ways, it was kind of just us main family until I was kind of like absorbed into a different family. And
Right.
yeah, and the Christmases then got a little bit more spicy because, you know, the tamales and stuff. Good shit.
Ah,
A Mexi family.
'cause
But
she's Guatemalan.
She's Honduran. Jesus.
it was before her. It was before her.
Nicaraguan.
Yeah.
Caliente.
Also, this might also, I can't pinpoint this one either, but it might have been 2, maybe 1 or 2 years when I used to live in Germany. And again, these kind of like sort of blend together, but it was a bunch of us barracks peeps. Like, since we're so far away from family and you kind of have to build your own community, your own family. And there's something to be said about like the military, I think, when you do hard things with people, you know, like when you're,
Go through
when
some shit.
yeah, when your job is quite literally life and death. Like you build relationships a little bit differently. And it's like, yeah, I spent 3-4 years with some of these people, but I feel like these memories are a lot more prominent than other things. And not just the job itself, but the people. You know, I can name off like some of my best friends, like Dos Santos, Krakowski, Skeet, hiking out, all them. Like, and like I've been so far separated from them, but they're always like on my mind, type of thing. You know, yeah, I don't know. There's just a different appreciation with units like that. You know, relationships, I guess, like that. But again, when you're separated from family and you're just trying to make something work, it's like, let's create our own tradition. Let's do something else. It's like, you don't know other people's backgrounds, but it's like, here you are all together. So it's like, yeah, I thought that was kind of cool, or that was really cool, I guess. But yeah, that was a good holiday experience. 1 or 2 years there. But
mine's kind of similar. There was one year, I can't pinpoint the year. I want to say like 2018 or something like that. But I was complaining like leading up to the holidays. It's like, man, I have to go to 5 Christmases. And it's like my parents aren't even divorced or anything. Like that's just what we had, like a friend's Christmas, and then we had my Christmas, and then we had a friend's miss, you know, like all of our friends got together and had a Christmas. And then 2 of my friends that lived out of town ended up coming in town, and we had their Christmas. And then the family I like watched the Eagles games with, we had a Christmas too. So it was like, on paper, it sounded super stressful, but I enjoyed every single Christmas. And, you know, they weren't all on the same day. They were within a week's time or whatever. But it's like, I literally got to see all the important people in my life in that 1 week. And, you know, how often does that actually happen to people? You know what I mean? Like there's sometimes people go years without seeing other people. And I had my friends that surprised their parents by showing up, both of them. They're both really good friends of mine as well. So like I got to spend basically with 3 families and then my friends. And it is just a good time. You know, ever since my grandma passed away a few years ago, right before Christmas. And like, she was kind of like your grandpappy, you know, held the family together.
That's my word.
Sorry. Well, I'm just saying, I wouldn't say that word, but my grandpa was Paul. We called him Paul, R.I.P. But we don't really get together. You'll find out why I don't get together here in the worst Christmas in a minute. But it was just a good time where nothing went wrong. I got to see the important people in my life and just happy times. So, but yeah.
Are you crying over there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. He gets a dry eye cry.
Yeah, dry eye cry.
Some people, holidays are stressful for some people. You know, I'd sit there while working in a grocery store. I see people lose their fucking mind because they have to like make 20 lasagnas for somebody, or I got to bake.
I don't commit to food.
7 dozen cookies. Like, no, you don't. Like, you don't have to do anything.
You get to bake 7
Yes,
you can also
chose
not
to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't lie when you give these cookies to these people that are like dying over them. You know, you enjoy that. You get that feeling. Like,
there's a gratification of people enjoying the time and effort that you put into
right. And I'm not
something.
saying the stress isn't real, because it is.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we've all experienced stress in
my entire
holidays.
adult life for holiday seasons has pretty much been consumed by work for the most part.
Yeah.
It's like I'm always tasked out elsewhere.
Well,
so
I mean, how heavy is your bags and shit at this time of year?
Heavy enough.
Yeah.
Heavy enough.
Yeah, I bet. Because we have a USPS in the store in Hy-Vee, and I mean, we're getting just annihilated in the customer service right now.
I would like to say luckily Amazon is around to take a bit of the toll, but
No, I don't think it does.
It doesn't.
You still have these old people. Like,
doesn't.
we have the Linden Estates behind me. They're all old people, and they're all in on sending 80 Christmas cards and 20 packages of cookies to their relatives and stuff. But bitching about it, of course. But
there's also like a give and take too when it comes to gifts or even letters.
Mm-hmm.
It's like for most guys, I would like to say for most guys,
Freudian.
it's like I think most of us are pretty cool.
Uh-oh.
We got a guest.
Uh-oh.
Hey,
Who is this
Some
suave
time,
mofo?
actually.
Old people.
Oh.
We got
Well, I was just bitching about them, so maybe that's part of it.
we got a guest coming in.
I guess, and he's the host.
I can't hear anything you're saying. I'm playing an applause sound effect.
It's true. I can't hear my mind right now. We can get him set up real quick and do some magic editing. And
Can you hear me?
I
yes,
can.
we can hear you.
I can't hear me, but
Well, because you don't have your headset on, you silly goose.
I'm pretty sure I just witnessed somebody die in a car accident on the way over here. So
Well,
That's
to make you feel better, I brought some
crazy.
cookies.
a cookie.
No, there's 5. Well, first of all, there were 20, and I brought Justin ate them all.
I wasn't fasting anymore.
Yeah, on pretty much 72nd and Center.
Yeah.
There's like a minivan that went head on into a cement pillar under
Jeez.
the.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Didn't really.
Did you used to live over there?
Yeah,
So, yeah, I did.
right over there.
72nd and Center, right off of those 72nd
Mm-hmm.
apartments.
Yeah.
Did you come by one?
Yeah, we filmed that thing with the
Oh,
peanut
yes.
butter and the spatulas.
Then what's his name? Lost Mother.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry to bring that up.
Yep. Lost footage. So yeah, hopefully
Merry
everybody's
fucking Christmas.
hopefully everybody's okay that was in that car. With
Well, I mean, that could be a good transition into our worst Christmases. But
Oh,
now that
before-
you're here, wait, no.
I was going-
That.
Something with that. So we're talking about best and worst Christmases.
So far, we're on best right now, and best gifts that you've received.
Yes, we've discussed best gifts. We're discussing best Christmases. Fuck, you were talking about something.
Old
I'm
people and mail and gratification and doing stuff, sending presents. I don't know.
I'm gonna have to throw it. Do you have a best Christmas gift?
Yeah, let's see what.
Yeah.
Present.
100%. So every year as a kid, I don't remember what age it started, but I always asked for a Nintendo for
Nice.
Christmas.
Like the
Ma-
original.
The
NES.
original NES. Mainly, I wanted Duck Hunt
Ah,
because
Fuck that game.
my good friend Will Dam was his name.
wait, that's
And,
Blue's Clues.
If Will's listening, hi, how you doing?
Hey, Will.
But, I doubt it. But he had Duck Hunt, and we played it all the time over there. And I asked, I don't know if it was like 3-4 years in a row, I asked for a Nintendo and never got it. And then one year, Santa brought us a Super Nintendo.
Oh, not only a Nintendo, but the strictly better Nintendo.
But I was pissed. I was like, I
Yeah,
asked
because you
for a
want the
fucking
original.
NES.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't know what you
But-
were asking for.
But like after Christmas morning, after we opened all our presents, we hooked it up, and I played Super Mario World, and I was hooked from then
Yeah.
on. So
They had
that
some
was a
good games on that one.
pretty amazing Christmas, and that was also the same Christmas that I had our aunt and cousin and uncle from Chicago came in and surprised us. So that was a pretty, because we used to always have Christmas at our house. Like all
Kids-
the aunts, uncles, cousins would come over to our house in the afternoon on Christmas, and
Kids don't know the struggle, especially when Super Nintendo came around and like Super Mario World was one of the most popular games that was introduced to us. It's like we had to start every single game from the beginning.
Oh,
Again.
yeah.
There were
Right,
certain
yeah.
Save, yeah.
there were certain games like Castlevania where you had to input like 30 symbols or so, maybe not that much, but yeah. And then Super Mario World actually saved games. It had
Yeah.
these 3 slots or so. You know,
When I
Legend
can
of
save
Zelda.
games, when somebody
Zelda,
talks
yeah,
about that,
yeah.
I always think about like Aladdin and a Lion King. Like you get so far and you
Gotta
could
do
not
this fucking
save.
lava.
I do have it
level.
on Xbox now, and you can save it. It's the the revamp.
And then on Lion King, Barry is the code. Remember that one?
I do not remember.
Okay,
that
it's
one.
the
Contra. We're talking about Contra.
No.
Contra's dope. Though.
Kama Sutra.
Yes.
Yes.
Contra.
Yes.
Fucking hardest game still to this day.
I still love
like
it,
it was
though.
hard
That
when
game's
you were a
fucking
kid,
awesome, man.
and now you realize you don't have the quarter, the hand-eye coordination.
Because you had to
did
find the
when you were
gun
a
that did
child.
the spiral shooting.
Did you all played Super Mario World on?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Do you remember?
You get the flute. Do 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 do.
That's a dragon sword.
I don't remember
Last week's episode.
exactly, but
R.I.P.
did you guys? So you went through the whole land, but did you know, like on that first level?
Oh yeah, and
there
then you
was
can
like a
open up
little-
the
There was a cheat thing that took you right to the end,
Right.
And it was just
That's
like,
in Super Mario 3 too.
Is
You can
it?
go to it once you defeat I can't remember. You have to go behind there's a part where you like
you
duck
hold down and then you drop behind the
You go
white.
yeah,
through
you
the
drop
white
behind
block.
the wall.
White block.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
always
then you
the
get
white
the
block
thing and
getting
go.
ahead.
And then you go through that tunnel and you show up in the last world. Yeah.
Always the white block getting ahead in life.
Yep, true.
I love that.
Or you get the flute.
when you defeat
Like you said.
Bowser, and then it played like the little end credits with all the different characters at
Yeah.
the end of it. That was.
Had to go through Star World.
I would have to say. So you all played Super Nintendo. What was besides Super Mario World? What was your favorite Super Nintendo game?
Kirby's fucking Avalanche.
I have to look up what it's called, but I know what it is.
Mine was Super Bases Loaded 3.
That game sucked.
I had Bases Loaded 2 for NES, and that was awesome. So I can't imagine what the third one. I never had NES or a Super Nintendo, but all my friends did. And we had this Avengers one where the levels where we were like flying, like Captain America was on like a hover jet, and Iron Man was obviously flying. And I don't know, it was an Avengers game, and it was super fun.
Honestly, I would say Link to the Past.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever played that.
Link
one.
to the Past
Link to the Past
was
is probably
fantastic.
one of the before Ocarina of Time came out. Like Link to the Past was
so
the game.
It was so far above its time.
That and Street Fighter and Killer Instinct, Mortal Kombat as well. Like I was more of the fighting games back then.
Back then.
Having like the turbo controller where you can like
cheat.
Yeah, and then just hold the button and it's like, Edmund Honda 1000 punch slap thing, whatever.
I remember my sisters worked at. It was called. It's what Gordman's is known as today, but it used to be called America. It used to be called Richmond Gordman.
Yeah,
mm-hmm. And then it was also called Half Price Store before that.
Yep.
And my sisters both worked there at the time, and they had the front wall that had the Super Nintendo games on it, and my sisters got a discount, so we'd buy a lot of games. We got a Wayne's World one. It looked like it had potential, but you could not get past the first level no matter what you fucking did.
Do you remember the Beavis and Butthead one?
Yeah.
I love that one.
I can only imagine the same.
That's the gameplay of Captain America and the Avengers.
So that is Captain America?
Yeah. I remember that one.
Yeah.
That one sucked. I hated that. I always played it.
I remember that game.
We
Fuck
played it
that
all the
game.
time. And there was a WWE one too. I had never watched wrestling, but I do remember always being Razor Ramon or The Undertaker.
Oh, yeah. And you're like, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Was it the one where
I was always doink.
Was it the one where you'd like run down in between levels, you'd run across the ring to the next opponent?
Maybe.
Where like the Undertaker shot like ghosts at you.
What?
Oh god!
Wow.
So yeah.
Well, our Christmas went on to a Super Nintendo conversation.
So before we get on to our worst Christmas, I did this I think a couple of years ago. I don't know if it was for the same episode, but none of us, since the majority of us, I don't drink. Looking at John, the only one
Yeah,
that
I do.
drinks.
What the fuck?
No.
I don't care.
I got us root beers to toast the.
Oh, we
last
did that on
episode
the
of year.
25th anniversary or whatever we did.
They're not cold because the
Good.
place didn't have
Well,
them. But
put it in my heart and we'll get it there.
Are you going to show us some big things too?
It is a twist off. Okay, good.
Big things.
Nice.
Oh
Thank
my
you,
God.
Jesus,
Careful.
were you playing tennis over there?
John showed us some big things.
15 love.
I sure.
These are
Third
twist-offs?
reference.
Holy
I know. That's why I just that was my wrist snapping.
I think I'm bleeding.
I do have a bottle opener if anybody needs one.
Thanks.
Because I'm an alcoholic apparently.
I need a first aid kit.
Do you really need
I don't think I've had the Sioux City root beer.
We're not going to get our deposit back on this desk here, but there it is.
That sounded great.
Look at you go.
Did you get yours?
No.
I think I'm bleeding.
I know. I was like, seriously.
We're going to be blood brothers.
Oh, it says on
Lonnie's never getting
not a
it.
twist off.
Oh, jeez, that was in the face.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I caught
Usually he doesn't mind when I hit him in the face with it.
So yeah, well, cheers to
Prost. Salute.
what? No, cheers
Salute.
to another great year of Boundless PodTrap episodes. Clink.
Oh, jeez. Thanks, Jeremy. As you see, we've got some presents or a present and some cards over there. The presents from all of us. Archis Lonnie.
I haven't opened mine yet.
I actually have no idea what's in them, so I'm curious to see what you
Perfect.
open them too.
Mine's got holes in it for something to breathe.
The Jew couldn't make the shot.
Yeah, I gotta have one of these cookies. Too.
Shocker.
Yeah, there's some with the topping on it and some without.
Every time I take a drink of mine, it foams up. Does your guys do that?
Well, mine went
Mine-
or whatever it did.
I think mine needs batteries.
Anyway,
So The Super Nintendo was your best present? Mm-hmm. All right.
Okay,
what was
yeah.
your best Christmas?
I think he said the same
That
one
was the
because
same. That was like
the
my favorite
family like came and all that stuff too. Yeah.
You missed it. You know what my favorite Christmas was?
Halloween.
Halloween. Because apparently I didn't understand the assignment.
But I let it happen because he's more Halloween and.
Yeah, I'm a Jew, so apparently.
Do you want
That's
to
why I didn't
redo?
say anything. You called yourself out.
Yeah. Do a redo.
No.
Okay.
You're looking at the real deal now.
So yeah, I'm gonna go last with the best or the worst gift. We're gonna do a worst gift now because my worst gift transitions into part of my worst Christmas. So I'll have you go first with your worst
All right.
gift.
So worst gift. So every
You can
year,
name names too.
every year, I would get Lincoln Logs from
Nice.
my grandma Ruth, and it would as far as I could remember, it was like Lincoln Logs, and I was getting a good selection of them, and I was like, oh man, this year I was so excited to get Lincoln Logs. And I went to open my present, and it was fucking Look Who's Talking 2 on VHS. So pissed off.
That's
It was a
awesome.
good movie.
But it wasn't Lincoln Logs. I
R.I.P.
was so excited.
What a twist right there.
If it was Look Who's Talking Now, I would have been pissed. But Look Who's Talking and Look Who's Talking 2 are good.
Look Who's Talking 2.
Ain't Lincoln Logs though.
Nope.
Yeah.
So excited.
We used to have Legos or Connects. Did you ever get
Oh, yeah.
Connects?
Connects was awesome.
Yeah,
Our
Connects
erector
were cool.
sets.
Yeah. What'd you say?
Erector sets.
Oh, I thought you were just saying.
Now what are they called? They're like the magnetic ones that are like the clear plastic triangles and stuff like that.
Kids play with things.
that are called.
They're like Geo Connect or
Yeah.
something
Yeah,
like
you
that.
get them from or Fat Brain Toys or whatever.
you get-
Oh yeah.
You get 5 of them for like $250.
That's your brain shaming.
Legos like that too. It's
can't
like,
brain
hey,
shame
buy
like
this
that.
Lego house or use your fucking imagination to make your own.
Yeah. Play with sticks.
Imagination is out the
Play with
window.
this stick and this hula hoop. And this
Play with
empty
this stick
can.
and dead raccoon. Like I did. I've got an imagination. I've poked dead raccoons with a stick for years.
What about
I'm
you?
perfectly fine.
What about you, Jeremy? What was your worst gift you've ever received?
Well, I know you are going to say, "What? That's an awesome gift."
This is your
give it to you?
like Justin said, this is subjective. So like I mean this is
I'm sure people love Look Who's Talking.
exactly.
There was one year for Christmas where I'll just say it was after graduating high school.
Okay.
An aunt of mine
Aunt.
that don't see that often. I don't know if she thought I was like 10 years younger than I was, but she got me like a bunch of Power Ranger action figures. And the thing is, I don't like Power Rangers, as we talked about in the last episode. I wasn't.
Still,
I
not
was
the worst.
I was a Ninja Turtle person, but yeah, she got me. And I mean, they weren't like the cool Power. They were
Like Wish versions.
well, they were
Power Troopers.
sometimes
Power
Wish stuff has,
Troopers.
they were made out
I
of
have
like
actually got Ninja Turtle stuff. out there.
really stiff, thick rubber, and you couldn't pose them or anything. They're just like
gotcha.
this.
Only
It's
the
like,
three, like the head doesn't even move, just
no,
the
nothing.
legs and arm.
Nothing moves.
Maybe the arms.
no,
No, they're just in like
Yeah.
action pose.
They're just like in this action pose,
Like a stale
and
gummy
you
worm.
couldn't do anything.
Like the parachute guys.
Yeah,
those,
kinda.
Just minus
those
the
are
parachute.
better, so.
Those at least come with a parachute.
But the problem was like when I don't know, like when I walked in, because we'd go to my grandpa's house. I don't know if when I walked in and she realized like, oh, he's kind of a grown up adult. Maybe I shouldn't have gotten this gift. But it's just like just having to act like it was a cool, like, oh, awesome, because you don't want to be like, what the fuck is this? But yeah, it was very awkward, and I could just
kind of would have.
I could just
I was an ungrateful shit.
my family all looked at me, and you could tell that they were all just like laughing, and so I was like biting my cheek not to laugh because don't want to hurt their feelings. But I don't know. I think those became dog chew toys because I never played with them. You could
Talking about like those kind,
little
they're similar,
to
basically.
that, yeah.
Okay, not as cool because that one looks like it at least moves.
The paint chips off so easy. And
I just remember like on the back of them, on every arm
maybe a
and
Power
leg,
Ranger stuff on
there was
the
like
maybe.
2 little holes drilled into them. I don't know what that was for.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I don't know
oh,
if
they
it was
were
for,
the vent holes.
oh,
So like when no, seriously, when they pour the plastic, it would be like where they would stick down in they would hold the molds. So when they
Gotcha.
would take them out of the mold, those were the vent holes, so they could dry
Mass-
the plastic.
I'm
mass
literally about to
production.
buy this
Yeah.
Ninja Turtle set for $15. Get off of eBay, John.
The thing
All right.
is like I said, I give this like the dogs to play with, but
Then
they're
they
probably
choked on
worth a
it.
lot of fucking money
Break all
now,
their
and-
teeth off. Yeah, they were like one-time printed collector's items.
Probably. And it's like those are worth $8 million a piece.
How many things can we say now that if we didn't play with it?
Pretty
and
much our
package it,
childhood, yeah.
Do you
Like I used
think?
to have the Ninja Turtle helicopter that you squeeze the back and it had like punching arms and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Do you think that the toys of today are going to be of any value? Like
They make toys
20,
today?
20, 30 years from now? Because
I think only
everything's
Lego
so,
sets.
Everything's
big brands.
so
I don't even
mass-produced.
make Lego
though.
sets.
That's true. Lego sets and Funkos maybe, but like you just said, they're all mass produced.
Yeah, like back in the day, it was like kind of limited.
Right.
Like this
Like
is the
shit
batch
sold
we made.
out.
Yeah.
I don't even think
I want the Turbo Man.
Legos maybe, but I don't think Funko Pops because people know the value of their stuff now.
Yeah.
So they're not going to open it up. That's what made our stuff so valuable because we took it out and played with it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's less high quality of it. So the high
That's why I
quality
just had to
stuff.
pay $35 for an action figure I used to have.
You mean, Lonnie, you didn't keep your stuff in the packages and just hang them up on your wall as a kid?
Some of it. I had to
what I
rebuy it
do
all
right
as an
now.
adult. That's why I had just paid
Right.
$180 for a Kenner fucking PKE meter.
So
Got ripped off.
You mentioned Funko Pops. Like I only get like the horror ones or ones that I really
I have the Ghostface one. You want to
like, but
add it to your collection?
no, thank you.
That's a good one.
But
With the 2 blood spots.
I just
I don't know.
you look at Funko Pops and it's just like, how are these so popular? There's a guy, I'm going to plug him on
Nice.
Funko John.
on YouTube. On YouTube, he goes by Franchise Kicks. He kind of reminds me of my sister's ex-husband Lee.
Mm-hmm.
He's a bigger guy with bald head and the beard and stuff. And he does unboxings, and he'll pay like anywhere from like 150 to like
What's his name?
$5,000. Franchise Kicks, and he's on YouTube, and he does a lot of mystery boxes, but his main thing is Funko Pops, and like he'll
It
get
does look
mystery
like
boxes, and he'll pay like $500, and in some of them he'll get some that are like worth $1,000. How can a Funko Pop be worth $1,000?
Something's only worth as much as somebody's willing to pay for it.
Me and Justin.
This is true.
Me and Justin were on a film set and we seen one for $2,400.
It was
Yeah,
ridiculous.
one of his videos 3 days ago, opening a $3,200
Was it a Star Wars one, was it?
Yeah,
Is it, yeah, I
the
like
Bo-
watching
the
his
Boba Fett one.
videos.
Does he open the actual Funko or just like?
No,
Package
he
it,
basically resells everything on
Oh, okay,
his.
I was like, what the fuck
his
is it?
eBay
He's
shop.
just being an ass. He's like, I'm gonna open this
Look
and
at
make
this
it worth
$5,000
$12.
toy.
I just have money to burn.
I have a CM Punk Funko Pop with the old WWE logo on it, unopened in the box. The box is a little damaged. Last I checked, I think the thing was worth
I have an
like
app.
$500.
Nice.
And if it was the right one, but yeah, that's the only thing that might be worth a value. And
I'll look it up on my app, and if it's worth anything, I won't open it. But if it's not, none of my Batman ones are open.
my David S. Pumpkins one is open that Justin had gotten me.
You should
I
have
just
opened
did I tell you guys? I don't think I've seen you guys since I got 2 days after Halloween on Spirit. I got the costume for like $13.
Did you really?
Yeah,
I've got that
so I
suit
have
too.
the David and Pumpkins costume. I was
So
gonna
do
wear
I.
it to Thanksgiving.
Didn't you already have that? Oh no, you had
I
it.
have it,
Okay.
yeah.
I have it as well.
So now we can all match.
We should all wear
I
it
don't
one
have
day
it.
and make Justin.
Justin, get the fucking.
I can be the
lights together.
skeleton.
Oh, that's true.
Okay,
You
yeah.
should totally be the skeleton. The Bobby Moynihan one.
Keenan. Wasn't it Keenan?
What was it? Yeah.
Didn't they? I think this year didn't they do a new David S. Pumpkins?
They did, I think, but I didn't see
I
it.
don't
Or
think
he
it was
showed
as
up.
good.
Justin, what was your worst gift?
So it has WWF.
My worst gift.
Oh, old WWE. 360.
Wait.
What color shorts?
Blue and black.
180 is what this goes by what the last one sold for that they like recorded or whatever. So that one,
Yes.
yeah, last sold for 180. So I mean, they go up and down all the time.
Sounds like a bunch of
So,
bullshit.
Justin,
but
you said your ballerina outfit was your worst.
Worst. Oh yeah,
was not my
Justin's up.
worst. I like
And then
like
I'm
that.
gonna go
Got
on a
few
rant, so.
uses from it. My worst present. See, again, it's very subjective. Certain things that I thought were of no use back then are of more use these days. But okay, my sister-in-law actually has just done this
You look
recently.
so irritated when you're like remembering the story you're about to tell. You're like, oh god, this fucking shit.
Well, it's kind of like, I mean, what about me makes you think that this is going to be a good idea type of thing? Okay, yeah, I can use socks, but she got me like I'm not a big Harry Potter fan. And I don't even think it was Harry Potter. It might have been like just something with like dragons or something like that. And it was just like very cartoonized or something. I'm like, this isn't really my thing. My wife really likes like graphic socks and it's usually something that's, metal related or horror related or something like that too is. But again, like what about me made you think that this was my thing? You know, like I'm probably never going to wear these. And I feel bad for that. It's like, thank you. But I don't think you like I think you just kind of like selected something and had it sent to me and appreciate it. And like, well, even when I was younger, my grandma used to do this all the time too. She worked at Goodwill and she would go to Goodwill, pick out an outfit for herself, wear it one time, take it back to Goodwill. I'm like, what? Is this just your closet here? Is Goodwill your closet? She used to always get me like Tommy Hilfiger and FUBU gear and stuff. I'm like, this isn't for me, you know, like this isn't my thing.
FUBU? I don't think I could picture you wearing anything FUBU.
I'm like, you didn't even get me a do-rag with this? I mean, come on. But yeah.
I think I picture you as somebody that would wear socks that have graphics on them. Like
I do here and there, but I mean, like the
tell me
style.
you don't have a Deadpool socks.
I do.
Exactly.
Okay.
And Bruce Lee.
But I do not. Do you have them?
I do not.
I do not.
I could probably find some.
I just bought Home Alone socks, and I'm wearing Eagle socks right now.
I think I'm wearing like Kirkland,
but I don't
Costco
wear them
socks
often.
or something else.
It's special occasion stuff. Was that yours? Because it kind of transitions into what I'm about to go on a rant about.
Are you okay?
No.
But okay, worst present. I mean, I guess I do have something that's kind of worse too, and I think mine kind of almost falls in line with yours, but I think yours is worse. So go ahead.
Well, no, mine's not necessarily a specific thing.
All right.
But it goes along the lines of kind of what you were saying, that
Oh, so I'm the odd man out for.
you were expecting one thing and got another. They didn't know who they were giving gifts to. They don't look into it. I hate when somebody gets you a gift and it's completely wrong for you. They don't take the time to learn what you like, what you want to do.
There was a time, I'm going to bring this back. There was a time when I was like 9 and then my parents got me like this this kid shaving set that had like some little foam. Yeah. I'm like, I'm Italian. I'm growing hair already. You know, like just
I need a real shaving kit.
Yeah.
But no, like, so this in 2019, I hate Secret Santa, by the way, like, especially in like a work situation, because nobody gives a shit. They forget about it. They go get a gift card at the last minute, which, like we talked about, gift cards and money are all.
Can you imagine how bad it would be for like a secret special needs Santa? That would be rough.
And we're back to the beginning.
Sorry.
But so 2019, I had, we'll talk more about it in a minute, but I had Secret Santa. And so at First National, our plan was, it was basically the whole month of December. The first week you get a $5 gift. Second week you get another $5 gift. And then the third week we have our final meeting. You get a $10 gift and reveal your Secret Santa, who you had, whatever. And so I had this guy, nice as hell, Bryce, who didn't take the time to learn anything about me. So he got me, this is when I had given up sugar and soda pops and stuff like that. And so he got me like a Monster the first week that had like the most sugar in it ever. He got a snack that I would never touch. And then finally I had to have my friend that worked there like get him. He went and bought it and then was like, give me $10 because I'm going to give this to John. And it was a Funko, fun enough. It was, what's his name from Jumanji, the Robin Williams character. He got me that. But
Patrick or whatever.
My thing is, yeah, what's his name? I can't even think of his name right now.
Mork.
Not a different show.
Nanu.
Genie? No. Mrs. Doubtfire. But that's my main point. I don't want to go on a huge rant about it because I don't want to go. It can be here forever. But like, just if you're gonna get somebody a Secret Santa present, or if you're a present in general, learn them. Like I said, I share my Amazon wish list with people want to buy me a gift. Like I literally have a list. Pick something off.
You can't fuck it up.
Right. You literally can't fuck that up. Or money. Like I said, money and gift cards. Like, you know, people are good. I like AMC gift cards all the time because I go to the movies.
Unless
all
it's
the
like,
time.
I am not going to get you an Apple gift card.
Absolutely not.
So,
that would be terrible. Or like a Home Goods gift card or something.
Those are
like
pointless.
That.
You can't buy anything with it.
No.
You don't want this Dallas Cowboy jerseys? I guess.
No, exactly. That's what I mean. You know, it's like, oh, he likes football. What's the most popular football team? You know?
Well, I always thought when you think about it, Christmas time especially, so everybody buys presents for each other. And to me, it's just like, I get it. But at the same time, why am I buying you $25 worth of stuff and you're buying me 25? Like, you can just save the money.
Me and my brother literally decided that today while we were watching football. I go, oh, by the way, are we getting each other gifts? And he goes, no. And I go, buy yourself something and say it's for me and I'll do the same. You know, it's like,
that's why I don't buy stuff off of people's their gift list because they're expecting that stuff. So
That's
if I'm
fair.
buying you stuff, it's going to be something like.
But you're going to
obviously,
take the time to learn what they like. Like, that's what I'm talking about.
It'll
Like,
come from the heart.
yeah, exactly.
And-
it's not the thought that counts. It's like just getting somebody a gift that's not the thought
it's the
that
dollar
counts.
amount
Yeah.
that counts.
Yeah, exactly.
So I usually say like I thought about getting you a gift, and it's the thought that counts. So I didn't.
Well,
So
Mikey's terrible at that. He doesn't learn what people likes. He has like a general. I'm sorry to call people out, but he ain't gonna listen to this. So I don't really care. He has good intentions, and he's like, "Well, it's the thought that counts." Well, you should have put the extra thought. That's what counts. Is you literally got to know somebody and got them something because you know they would like this. Not
I'm
because
thinking
maybe you would like.
you were
know.
stupid for thinking that. So
Yeah, maybe.
this year I decided with my family because I am saving money because I usually go all out for my family. Like the money I usually get from Shadow's Edge working there, I put all that towards Christmas gifts and then some. But
that's like $10,000.
it's not far. Like I spend hundreds of dollars on each of my
Shadow's Edge pays
nephews
good.
and niece and stuff. But
It's the blowjob.
this year I wanted to because I was thinking like toys collect dust. They play with it for a little bit and then it collects dust. And yeah, kids should get toys. I mean that's what Christmas is about. So I did get them smaller little gifts. But this year I wanted to buy my family an experience. And so I bought us all. They don't know about this, but by the time this comes
it'll
out,
come out after.
I mean, the only one that listens to it would probably be Stacy, but
Hi, Stacy.
I'm buying
Should hear this next Christmas.
everybody, including my aunt and stuff, behind the scenes VIP tours at the Henry Dorley Zoo. So we're going to
Can I go?
yeah. So we're going to do like the aquarium. We're going to do giraffes and one other thing. And it's like talking to a lady, we can pet some of the animals and feed some of the animals. So it's like, to me, that's memories that'll last forever.
Yeah, an experience
And
is
we're
definitely.
doing it all together.
Yeah.
So
That's cool.
And I
That's
thought
really
I was a trendsetter, or doing something different. But I heard on the radio that a lot of people are doing that this year, getting experiences for people instead of physical gifts.
I think that's kind of a running thing.
Yeah. So, and by the way, not to change that, but my beard is so long right now. It's annoying because it keeps catching on this.
We can cut it
spit
tonight.
guard.
Yeah, if you want.
Okay. Alani's not afraid to.
I was talking to my brother about what to get my niece because I have some books for her books that I read when I was little that I want to give her like scary stories to tell in the dark and Stinky Cheese Man and Other Fairly Stupid Tales. Do you guys remember? Do you know about that book? Yeah. Well, it's coming to the Rose Theater this year in March. So I feel like it's a little more advanced than her reading level right now, but my brother's like, we started to read to her like at night and stuff like that. And I was like, all right, perfect. So I can give her that book. She has a birthday in January too. So that's what kind of sucks. She's about to get spoiled in the next 2 months or whatever. But she literally went up and asked my brother, she's like, when's John going to take me to Pizza Machine again? And I'm like, all right, perfect. I'll give her the book for Christmas. That way she can know the story, and then for her birthday I'll take her to Pizza Machine, and then I'll take her to the Rose to go see these plays. I even thought about taking her to, I know our local museum, the Durham, has that superhero exhibit coming out in January, so I'm probably going to take her to that too.
How old is she now?
She will be 6 in January.
So her and my niece will be the same age for
Yeah.
a few months.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So like you said, experiences. Like she literally was like, when's John going to take me to Pizza Machine? Like she remembers that we went, like that's what I did last year for her birthday. I literally had no idea what to get her.
That's an expensive gift. Pizza Machine is expensive.
It can be. I have a bunch of points from when I used to go all the time. So like we just play games for a little bit. And then she literally, bless her heart. I'm like, do you want I had enough points for like the huge giant stuffed animals and stuff. She's like, I want that little dog right there. The cheapest one. I'm like, you can get like 10 of those. Like go for it.
I think in the grand scheme of things, it's not necessarily the things that you do are what you get for them, but it's mainly like, especially with kids too. Mm-hmm. But also it leaves an impression with adults, but it's how they feel about you,
Right.
or how you make them feel,
Right.
in these situations. So the experience definitely goes further than the
Oh
item.
yeah, for sure. I mean, I can't even tell you what I got for half of my Christmases and birthdays. Like, I'm sure it was Ninja Turtle stuff and Batman stuff, but I can tell you specifically who got me those things.
My mom could because she used to
Inventory.
still kind of. No, she did. Like at Christmas time, whenever we'd get gifts, she'd always right? Like what you got from who and stuff. I'm like, what's the point of this? But
So she
it
could
is kind
throw
of
it in your face.
it
Remember
is-
when Susie got you that?
pretty much. But it was kind of cool because she did bring it up. She's found a list and it's like, oh wow.
That is kind
I
of cool
remember
to do
that
yeah.
birthday and
I didn't remember who gave me it to. But that's
Yeah.
the thing. Like this experience, be like, hey, remember that time Jeremy took us to the zoo and we got to pet a fucking giraffe and shit?
ride a stingray.
Not the one in the jungle that stung that guy last week or whatever.
Was he a worker?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were in there like doing something with the exhibit and it went through his protective boot. They acted quickly, obviously. It wasn't poisonous, that specific species, but
Have you been to that Fish Freaks place on like 132nd and Center?
negative.
I just went there
What is
with
it?
Michael.
Like a fish store?
It's just
Like
it's
pet
a
store or something?
a bit. It's all fish stuff. I mean, you can get the same thing at PetSmart for like something that's like $25 at PetSmart is like $325 at this Fish Freaks.
Where?
It's in 132nd and Center where Big Lots used to be by Dave and Buster's.
Okay, yeah.
But anyways, they have fucking stingrays in there. I'm not talking small. I'm talking big ass stingrays in a regular like 70-gallon tank, and I'm just like,
You get to eat them? What do you?
You pet them?
You can buy them.
Oh,
It's like, who the hell is going to buy one?
I want to buy a monkey.
And they,
is it gonna fit in your grill?
sure,
All right.
Yeah, what was it? I wonder what a stingray tastes like.
like everything else, probably. That's
Pretty
fish.
sure. Fish does this. Anyway.
So,
Do you guys want to talk about our worst? Because I'm going to
Worst
go on-
Christmases.
I'm going to
Yes.
go first.
Where's Hannukah? What?
I said I'm
What's
going
your-
first,
Oh, okay.
bitch. So my worst is hands down. It's not even a question. Like it's even worse than my grandma dying. Like 2019 was the worst. That's when the beginning of December, I found out she was cheating.
No. Fucking whore. I can't stand her.
There you go. He like took a second. He had to throw out whore. Anyway,
I'm trying to suppress.
so that was in the beginning of December, and so that whole month she had moved out because I was staying there until the end of the month, and then she was going to move in and I was going to move out. She was staying with the guy or the friend, one of the two, either time. So like that whole month, I was literally just in an apartment by myself, thinking about this shit the whole time, getting no answers from her on why, when, no closure type of thing at all. She would appear every now and again to get clothes and stuff like that. Well, one day she needed to go get some presents she left, and it was Christmas Eve, actually. She had forgotten her gifts, and I had been at work for most of the day. So she had plenty of time to go. She was off, so she had plenty of time throughout the day to go get it. She texted me at like 7 because I noticed they were still there. I'm like, did you come get this stuff? She's like, oh, no, I'm coming right now. And I'm like, no, I didn't want to be here when you're here. Like, that was the whole point. And I can't remember the exact text I sent her, but it was something that she took the wrong way. Instead of me being in the apartment, I went down. We had an attached garage at the time. I went down into the garage where we had our spare couch, and I just waited. I laid on the couch. I was fucking with my phone, ignoring her text messages and calls because I just didn't want to be there.
She brought
But I also
him.
had like nowhere else to go either.
She brought him into your house.
No, she never brought him into the house, but he was with her a couple times. Not this specific time. I kept ignoring her messages, and I can't remember the exact text that I said that made her think this, but she thought I was like suicidal, and in that time, people are, I mean, I would rage out. I wouldn't say I was suicidal. Like I was definitely depressed, obviously.
More kamikaze then.
And I kept, like I said, ignoring her messages. Like I put them on straight ignore, so like they wouldn't even show up notifications or anything. Come to find out, she freaked out so much that she called the cops, thinking, I had killed myself or whatever. I had come out of the garage once I finally looked at the messages, and I was like pissed. Like, why did you call? Like I was just in rage. I had a beer on me. I threw it against a garage door. The cops show up. Like it's this whole thing. I'm like, I just want her to fucking leave. Like this is all Christmas Eve, and we have people like having dinner with their families, looking out the window at two screaming fucking people, and a guy throwing a beer bottle and all this shit.
You're always the bad guy. You know that.
Always the bad guy. But no, the cops were actually on my side. They're like, why are you here? Like, get out of here. Let him, like, is he staying here right now? Is that your agreement right now? Yeah, then you need to leave, man. I'm like, you need to get the fuck out of here. He clearly just doesn't want to be around you. Like, this is the thing. And then so that next day, Christmas, obviously I was upset because I just spent an hour and a half with cops outside on Christmas Eve night, Santa passed right over because, I was with the cops. He thought bad things were happening. I was right on the naughty list. Just kidding.
Serious, Clark?
That's better than what I said. But so then, like I said, that next day, Christmas, I literally didn't say a word to anybody. I went, I ate, I left, I went home. And that year specifically also was that Secret Santa that I was talking about previously. So like that was coming together.
Fucking Bryce.
So then 2 weeks after Christmas, so like this is the whole time. My dad's side of the family decided we were going to do Christmas in January because there was too much going on. People were out of town. We're going to do a mid-January Christmas. I'm like, okay, fine. For those who don't know, I have a denture. The top of my mouth, all those teeth are a denture. That happened 2 weeks after Christmas. So the week after that, I'm going to this family Christmas. So they all want to talk about my relationship and my mouth and everything. And I just wanted to go and just get my mind off of things. But that's all anybody was talking about is, John, what happened this? They all want details. That's why I don't hang out with that side of the family because they're terrible people. And I hope you listen. Except for you, Grandma. I love you. But I just remember sitting in this sunroom because then my cousins started fighting because my dad's aunt and his cousin, her daughter, both got engaged and they wanted to do a joint wedding, which don't ever do that. Like that just sounds terrible to anyone.
Why are you looking at me when you say that?
I'm just saying it out loud.
Because we're already married.
So they're all fighting and having a thing. And so I'm in this room. I can't eat anything. There's all this delicious food in front of me. Luckily, somebody brought chili. So I was like able to eat chili because I'm still getting used to a denture. And
nobody's going to mama bird you anything?
No. They were rude. They wouldn't do it. But yeah, that was like my worst Christmas. Just all that whole 8 weeks of just the worst time of my life. I probably never been darker in my life. Luckily, I have friends that really picked me up because I just can't stand my family most of the time. It's freaking terrible. I'd rather spend Christmas with the Lubashes or the Castles or, some other family than mine. So yeah, that's my worst Christmas. It was going to be more of a rant than that, but I kind of don't want to get angry, so we're just going to sum it up. That's all that, yeah.
I can feel yourself welling up.
2019 was fucking terrible, man, and I hope she dies. But moving on.
Then COVID happened.
Take Bryce.
That is, yes, exactly. So that was transitioning into 2020. I finally started going out in March, getting out, doing stuff, and COVID happened. So I just went right back to sitting at home and thinking about it. So
you think she started COVID?
Yeah, she started COVID. That's confirmed right there.
That's why I don't.
She's 8.
No, from definitely December 6th through, whenever COVID started, March, 19th, 20th, somewhere in there.
It kind of sucks too because
it was just that whole holiday, every holiday in there.
I think it's just kind of a human thing, but I want to say more so like with guys too. Like I don't know if we say romanticize or sensationalize, but we focus on that date too. It's like, here it comes.
I hate remembering dates.
Yeah.
I hate it.
But
it's a curse.
It's rough. Mm-hmm. My worst Christmas, our worst sort of Christmases. There was one, I don't know if this is the worst, definitely not in comparison to the other story that I'm going to tell that's kind of lined up with something similar, but yeah, it sucks. I went over to my one of my family's place and I got a bunch of stuff for some people and pretty much everybody that was involved. It was a smaller gathering thing and I kind of just like sat on the side and it sucks feeling like a stranger among family. Yes. It's like, what? Yes. Oh. And not that I was expecting anything, because I'm also a horrible gift receiver. Sometimes it's like, and like I'll probably process. I was like, what am I going to do this? What am I going to like? I'm not really expressing the excitement or something.
Right. You overthink like,
yeah. Should I be? I'm like, where can I put this? What could I? I could probably, thanks. But it probably comes off as not as sincere. It's like, no, I do like that you gave me something, but it's like I'm horrible at receiving gifts because I feel like
I relate.
Yeah,
definitely relate. Like the guy I went to the house to watch football with, he got me a new like Eagles cooler, and I was like, geez, like I don't feel like I deserve it.
Like I didn't ask for this, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
But
like, are you telling me you don't like my other cooler that I bring? Is that what you're saying?
It's like, no, this one's better. Also going with exes. So, and I will actually talk about this one a little bit more so too in my year in review, because she kind of sort of correlates with another big story that, I mean, there's no relation from her to the other big story. But anyways, around the holidays time when I was in Germany, I kind of like went back and forth from, America to Europe if I had the time, I guess. So I took a vacation and came back, and then my girlfriend at the time, she kind of experienced a little bit something else, I guess. And I was like, oh, that's why you're so fucking different and all this. Like, she was kind of a closet whore, I guess. So
She only did it in the closet.
yeah, no, she was kind of going out every single night. I was gone for about like 11 or 12 days, and every single night, I guess she got passed around. I was like, that's kind of grody. That's not what I signed up for. And it sucks because you are so close in proximity. Like you work with the person.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you in the military, you have to go to formation, and her position is pretty much right in front of me. So I have to look at the back of her head for like wow, this bitch. And
I bet you.
Apparently, everybody else was looking at the back of her head.
Yeah,
too.
me too. Son of a bee.
you got to catch up.
Yeah,
Well, I
geez.
didn't want to cut you off. I'm like,
You have to.
will.
You have to with this group.
But yeah, after a while, I felt a little bit more. I mean, we process things differently. John, I feel like you're easier to get over certain things. I think you occupy your time and you know what you want. So it's easier to kind of like put yourself out there. For me, I kind of being out of my element, and I had friends and stuff around, but like I'm not at home. I don't feel that comfort or so. So it's like having to force yourself, which for me, it works. For other people in certain situations, different factors around it, like it may not work. But it took, I don't know, probably like a good 3, 4, 5 months or so before I was finally, other shit kind of happened around that, which also kind of occupied my mental with certain things regarding her. And I'm like, well, okay, this is very fucked up because I know the person you are. So it's found it much more easier to get over things.
Right.
So it's like, and you kind of promise yourself or whatever. It's like, there's no reason to cry tears for horrors,
Nope.
It's like it's a waste of time.
is that a
They don't
Madonna
care.
song?
I think so. Donna.
Led
It's a
Zeppelin.
5-finger death punch.
Is it really?
I don't know.
Oh, no. I thought I wrote that as a poem a while back, and when I was probably around
Don't
that
cry
time.
tears for horrors.
Yeah. And yeah.
It's Tears for
This time we
Fears
are
side
saying
project.
horrors,
Yes.
not horror.
Horrors.
Horrors. We are saying
Horrors.
horrors.
It's like I'm not saying
Whores with a
there are people
How does Mock say it?
Dubaboo.
Devil boo.
there are guys who can be whores too, and and females as well, but it's like
They're legends.
Lonnie.
yeah,
Lonnie's a whore.
he is.
Whore.
A whore.
Whore.
Yeah, Russian whore.
Only
I
horrors
still have these
wear
waterproof
flannels.
socks on my screen.
All right. That is probably one of my worst Christmases as well. So
Bitches, man.
Lonnie, Christmas and or Hanukkah.
So,
Hannukah.
honestly, and I don't know if it's going to be the worst, but I think this year is going to be the hardest
Lost your dreidel.
holiday. We lost our dad at the beginning of the year.
Mm.
So it's going to be difficult with that transition, always having him around and him being like how your grandpa was, him being the centerpiece of everything. This was the first Thanksgiving without him, and it was very hard. And this is going to be the first Christmas without him. And this will be Mox's first Christmas that he really knows.
Right.
So that's that hard transition. I don't know if it's going to be the worst, but I don't think it's going to be good.
Right.
You can make the best, happiest memories you can out of it, but there's always going to be that black shadow over it.
Mm-hmm.
There's always going to be that asterisk next to it. I mean, you guys can relate. Justin, you can relate. Jeremy, you can relate. It's not easy. It's never going to be easy, but, it's what it is.
Yeah.
You push through, you try to do the best you can for them.
It
Next
is-
year's another year.
Yeah.
It's only the body that dies. Yeah.
There
with
with,
the hearts.
with my dad, when he passed away, he wasn't a huge family type guy. Christmas, even as a kid, I knew that it was my mom that put the effort into it to make it special for us kids. So, it was rough the first Christmas that he wasn't there. I think the more rougher thing for me was the first Halloween without him there, because he was a big reason why I got so into Halloween and doing the haunted garage
Right.
that I did. So like that was rough, but I mean, yeah, it's going to be rough. Their tears are going to be shed, but the memories from past are always there. You always
Right.
have those.
Right.
That's the important thing. And
Right. It's just that first hurdle, that first one. It's like that first Band-Aid.
Right. Yeah,
It's
it just-
always
it
going to
has to
suck
happen,
pulling
yeah.
it off. And then the next one's going to be easier. The next one's going to be easier, but it's that fucking first one.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that first breakup, that first love, that first heartache, that first pop tire. Man, that first one sucks. But even going in expecting it, it still sucks. So
With my grandma, she like I said earlier, she literally held the family together at Christmas time. Like we all loved her, and she literally passed away 3 days before Christmas.
yeah,
And so like that Christmas was just, and everyone since has been just not the same.
Right.
It just sucks.
And-
but I always try to make a time to set a time for myself to just sit there and think about her and
Right,
think about the
yeah.
good things that we did.
Well,
Even if it's 5 minutes,
Right.
just
Yeah,
remember her on a day that she loved more than anything.
Right.
So
and there's not a moment that goes by that I'm not thankful that man, for everything he taught us and everything we learned from him and all the great things we had. Never take anything for granted, but it's what it is.
Yep.
I think it's the last few years too, with like COVID and everything. There's a lot of grandmamas and some grandpappies and
No,
moms and dads.
That's my word.
Look at this.
You don't.
This again.
We already did that one.
We did that.
Yeah. But no, there's a lot of people who kind of passed is going to be missing some Christmases, empty seat at the table. It's sad, but that's the circle of life. That's
our age too. Like
Yeah,
we got to
definitely,
understand we're in our waning 30s that our parents and our grandparents and our older uncles and aunts, like we got to come to that conclusion that
Even our friends.
oh, for sure. And it sucks too. It's like this is going to be more of like a dynamics when it comes to like the masculinity too. It's like as dudes, like we do have to take that time to grieve in a respectful allotted amount of time or so.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, but you have to pick yourself back up. You have to
Right.
keep moving on because
there's a time when you have to grieve while being the protector and the strength giver.
right,
Like you have to be strong while grieving.
right.
And I think that's a fine line that you learn to do as a man growing up. Like there'll be parts of time in your life where you'll learn to keep a strong demeanor through agony. And whether that's getting hit in the balls and not wanting to show pain or, someone calling you ugly or breaking your heart where you're like, well, fuck you. I'm not going to let it show you but everything inside of you is
Right.
just trash.
There's certain people who let
Yeah.
let the scab fester, but it's like
Yeah.
you're not processing it though. Like you're letting it like. So we recently lost my foster dad this year as well, and I mean he was kind of a great mentor towards me. Some of the more deeper conversations, more philosophical stuff. Like I mean he comes from a different mind frame, but the conversations and the respect that we had for each other. Like when I looked at, if you want to call it masculine, like my birth dad, he was there. He didn't let me go hungry. My foster dad was the one who kind of like instilled
Right.
what it means to be something of worth. So, and I was very appreciative of him, but I mean, he's not going to be with us. Your father is not going to be with us. And, grandmother, other people's fathers still remain. It's like, but you have to remember them, remember what you were taught or how you felt
Goddamn
with
right.
them, and then just keep going.
Heck yeah.
Because it's like you have other people, as though you've looked up to those people, there are people who do look up to you, whether you're
Absolutely.
a,
Yep.
a
As scary
son,
as
a
that
father,
is.
Yeah.
You'll
It's like, I'm not responsible.
they'll live on by what teachings you learned from them, what
Right.
you're
What
going to
you
teach.
pass on, right.
Right. So you're all doomed.
Thank you. But I think that's beautiful, though. I mean, like, there's something beautiful in the passing, or if you want to call it a legacy. It's saddening, too, to know that, like, maybe you're the last of the blood or whatever to
Right.
die out. And that's something that we, I guess, find of importance. At least I do. I'm one of those people who's like, my bloodline is important.
Right.
And I don't know why that is. I have to do some thinking on that. But I don't know. It feels, what does it feel? I don't know. It feels important.
Right.
But I was going something there. What was that? I do this.
Nah.
All right.
Looking at the real deal now.
Whoa.
But no, thank you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
That was interesting. A nice little deeper dive than I feel like we usually get, especially on the worst parts.
Did you go?
No.
Oh, my bad.
Okay.
Sorry,
let's
Justin. You know how Justin talked, and I thought it was over. And
Well, I mean,
Talking and
I have two examples, but it's like I honestly can say that I've had pretty good Christmases. Like I can't
Yeah.
think of bad ones. Like the one that I'm going to choose is kind of a stretch, but I feel like kind of like you. I feel like this year it's going to be a good Christmas. I'm going to be with majority of my family, but this is the first Christmas since my niece has been born that she's not going to be with us Christmas Eve, Christmas Day because of this custody thing. Now that her dad gets 50%, he gets her.
can't stand that guy.
But so yeah, he's gonna have her Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. It's gonna be rough for my sister. I mean, she's gonna be going through a lot of tissue with crying and stuff, but I think it's gonna be rough. We did celebrate a little bit tonight, which is why I was late, and then we're celebrating with her on Friday, like my mom, sister, just us close family and stuff. But if I had to choose one, I want to say it was the year 2015, 2016. So this was at the time when my oldest sister was married to her first husband, and they actually moved to Kansas City because he had a job offer. And so they went there. And I mean, those that don't know, I mean, it's about a 2.5. They were about 2.5, 3 hours away from here.
Depending on if I'm driving or
Yeah. So
from my house, it's an hour and 45 minutes.
Oh.
we went out there.
In an hour.
when they moved out there, the very first Christmas they lived in that house they had. We went out there, spent a few days out there, and it was a good Christmas. But what makes it the bad Christmas for me was the realization after having like 2-3 days together out there in the same house, having fun together, that we have to go back to Nebraska, Omaha. And at the time, I didn't know that their marriage was not going to last much longer, but that's what I thought the way of life was going to be, that, you know, we're not all in the same state anymore. And we're lucky we were able to go out there that year, but every year, the next year, the year after that, there could be a fucking blizzard that's going to separate us from being able to go out there. So it was very sad. And I remember that night when we got home, you know, I did cry some because it was just the memories of how fun that was being with family and just knowing like, God, things are changing. We're growing up now. They're in Kansas City. There were talks about him possibly getting a job offer in Florida. And it's like, well, God, if they move to Florida, we're going to hardly ever see him, especially me, because I don't do planes and stuff like that and whatnot. So I guess to me, that would probably be the worst Christmas, even though it was a pretty good Christmas. So nothing to do with women or anything like that.
Well, that's good.
Well, that's
but not good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're the root of all evil. I can do the equation on the board if you'd like. We can make room.
We could
don't need
erase
that
all
anymore.
that stuff because that crowdfunding ain't, even if we do crowdfunding, we can't do that because the movie's been shot. So.
Yeah. This
What,
is
you don't want people to come in and be an extra?
Yeah.
We got
You could be,
a car scene that you can
Yeah.
watch from afar.
you could be in the car driving
16
next.
extras in the back. Why is there so many people in my fucking car?
What movie is that for?
That's for The Mystery of the Manor.
Remember that movie?
We did that back in like July, I think.
We used 4 free tickets to the manor. I don't think they'll be any good. If you enjoyed this podcast, well, that's not all. Stay tuned next week for the continuation of this episode, whenever these things come out. Shalom.